Hello, it's Sunday, the 17th? Why can I never remember the date anymore? It's 3:30-ish, and we've been driving around because my mouse broke, so I had to go get a new one because it was unbearable trying to write without having the scroll on the mouse because I couldn't scroll through the document. And you know, because I have switching point of views, that sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm like, what did I write for the previous point of view? So I needed to scroll back up or scroll back down to look. And without the mouse working on just the trackpad, it did not work. So, so we took a trip into town, which took us a long time. And it's just, yeah. Anyway, I have a nice, pretty mouse. It's like the mermaid scales. It's just, and it comes with a mouse pad, so that's nice. At least now it'll be hopefully less painful for me to work. This is why I know that I still would maybe benefit from Scrivener and putting my stuff into Scrivener. I was still hoping to have that done before July's camp, but I was also hoping to have my next draft done before camp so I could work on the next stage of this revision. It's probably not going to happen because since it's already the 17th and I spent, God, almost 3 weeks I think at this point not writing, between preparing to go to my grandma's house and then just like a lot of general stress. I ended up not really writing. And so last night as I tried to get back into the scene, I was like, God, I had this whole plan of where I was going. And it just, I was like, okay. I wasn't exactly stuck. It's just, you know, when you take too long of a break, it's sometimes hard to get back into it. Yeah, I didn't mean to take this long of a break, obviously. I meant to be working the last 3 weeks. So, I don't know. It's probably going to be later when we get back home, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done. And I have not read anymore, although I did bring, what did I bring? Richard Siken's Crush with me, just because I thought poetry might be easier to read while I'm doing travels and stops, and I don't know. Have I read anything yet? No. But that's okay. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to report. I'm hoping to get more written tonight, but I'm already feeling really tired and I'm a little bit better, but I still, the migraine keeps like coming and going this week. So it's like I'll spend a couple hours in the day feeling better and then it just feels like it hits me all over again. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I still have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday at my grandma's house. The internet is not great. I'm not looking forward to the notion of having to upload videos, and it's kind of going to be like this for the rest of the summer. We'll see. I'll have to figure it out. There's a lot of stuff I want to be doing, some new types of videos for July and August, and I don't know if I'll be able to do them now just because of the kind of scheduling issue I might run into, and yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see, and I'm looking forward to getting to write, I guess, hopefully when I get home. I started to make a note. This is why I like outlining, but I'm also very much a pantser in the way that so much of like my world building and like character motivations and stuff become clear to me while I'm writing. So it's like I want to write this certain scene that I have in my outline, and then as I'm going, like, the characters are like, well, what if this happens? And I'm like, I haven't even thought for that possibility.
Oh, God.
Whoa!
Oh, you okay?
You alright?
You okay? This fucking chicken nugget is gonna be a mess.
I was like, chicken nugget?
Yeah, chicken tender, whatever the fuck it is. It's
Oh.
all over the place.
I thought you were like referring to the dog as a chicken nugget. Like, this little chicken nugget's gonna be a mess, and I'm like, oh, okay. This little chicken nugget.
No, but that's funny.
Hey everybody, I don't know what day or time it is. I think it's Wednesday. I don't know. It's a day. It's a day. My migraine's been going on and off all week, and I don't know if it's just being in a different altitude, a different atmosphere, because this should be the same altitude as where I live in our own mountains, but I don't know. So I've kind of been out of it all week, but yeah, I just want to update you guys. I read a couple more stories of Meet Cute. What did I read? I read The Way We Love Here by Danielle Clayton. That was a really cute story about soulmates. It's like just that concept, like of like having a mark on your body that leads you to your soulmate. And it took place on this island, and it was very, very rich writing for that atmosphere of an island, of a culture, being on an island. It was very interesting, and I liked the concepts that went with it, and you know, it was very cute. It made me a little teary-eyed at the end. But as always with a lot of these soulmate type concept stories, it presents soulmates as being always romantic soulmates and the ideal to strive for. And you know, it's like this horrible shame if someone's soulmate dies like early and someone lives their life without love. And I'm just like that's an actual line from the book. Like, they'll be doomed to live their life without love. And I'm like, what about the other people in their life? Romantic love is not the be all end all of life. I don't know. As someone who is asexual and aromantic, stories that are soulmate concept-esque generally always make me go, eh. Because they're usually always romantic soulmates and the epitome of like, this is what you should be striving for, even if it recognizes that sometimes the soulmates don't always work out, or whatever it is. Like, sometimes there's always this line of like, you're doomed to be without love if you don't have the soulmate. And I'm like, you know, people love family, friends, all kinds of people without this concept of soulmates overbearing on them. And I for a minute I thought the story was going somewhere interesting, because the character was like thinking like what if I didn't want to love? What if I wanted to choose not to have a soulmate, to not love? And I was like, is this going somewhere interesting? no, it was not going where I thought it was going. With like an ace spectrum bent to it, where that could have been cool. The story was good for what it was. It was really cute. I enjoyed it. But of course, I was like, at the very end, because I was like, oh, some good old soulmate stories. I guess at this point I just want people to do something new with soulmate stories. You know, change up the expectations, because not everybody wants romantic love. Not everybody cares about this concept of soulmates. Some people want platonic soulmates. Whatever. I just want to see different ideas of soulmates. But it was still a good story. Still good writing. So, I mean... and then I read Oomph by Emery Lord. And that was so cute. That one was two girls stuck in an airport, like in between their flights, and just like connecting and talking about their life and their future. Like they're like graduating seniors, so they're going to be going to college, and they're just, you know, talking about their future and their life and making these cute connections. And it was just, I don't know, the writing was really good, and it was just so like warm and fuzzy. And at the end, I was just like, ah, so cute. That was another one that I was like, where's the rest of it? Where's my sequel? It was really cute. And I have not read anything by Emery Lord, so I've been saying this a lot for all of these authors so far, but there hasn't been a single story that I have disliked or felt really meh about. Even the ones that I've been more meh about, they've still been good stories overall. It's usually just been me like nitpicking on my own like personal level, right? Oh, I'm hoping I'm talking loud enough. I'm so tired. Alright, so that was it for Meet Cute. I still have, I don't know, quite a few stories, but let's see, I'm on page 175 out of, I don't know what page, but I should be able to finish it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm driving back home with my mom, so it depends what kind of state I'm in with my migraine tomorrow, how much reading I will get done, but hopefully I will be able to finish this tomorrow. In the meantime, I did read both of Richard Siken's poetry collections. So, I'm not much of a poetry reader. Like, I enjoy poetry. I like to read it, but I don't really want to analyze it. I just want to enjoy it. As like someone who writes, I like to enjoy the flow of words and the story and whatever meaning I might get from it. Maybe? I don't know. So, okay. So I read Crush first. This was his first collection. This one was pretty much all about love and desire and the first stirrings of liking someone, hence the title of Crush for the collection. And just, yeah, it was so dreamlike. Like that's the only way I can describe his poetry, is that just like reading it, it's, I don't know, reading it, it almost puts you in like a dreamlike state, because his words flow like, not like, it doesn't really make sense in the way that you think it should. But if you were to just read it and not have any expectations when you're just reading it and letting the words that he wrote flow, and it's just, I don't know, it was really good and kind of like startling in a way, you know? I don't know, it was just, I liked this one. It was very dreamlike, and if you're looking for something that is easy to interpret and find an exact meaning with, this isn't always it. But he does tell stories in his poems, and sometimes his poems connect to one another. And he has these characters that he talks to and about in his poems. And you see them pop up time and again, and it's, I don't know, I liked it. It was very, very nice. I don't know. I don't really know how to talk about poetry because I feel like it's a very subjective thing, you know? So I liked Crush, and then I read War of the Foxes. I don't know if you can tell, but the guy's face is on fire. So this collection is, I'm gonna say, pretty much about art and creation, and just, there's a lot of war and fighting metaphors and figuring out who your enemy is and who you love and why we create and why we exist. It's very, very different from Crush. It's a completely different collection. You know, Crush is very sensual. This is very thoughtful, very pondering, I guess. And each poem, it seems, kind of builds upon the previous, you know? Like, it starts out with a poem, and they're very much like he describes painting, like as an artist, and painting people and painting portraits and trying to look inside someone and look inside yourself, and all this like intense visual imagery and going back and forth. And he still keeps up his dreamlike qualities for his poems that he did in Crush, just in a different state, a different type of intensity, I would say, because the subject matter is different. And, you know, I would say that maybe I liked Crush a little bit better, but they're just very different subjects. And in the end, when I finished reading this, I was like, I might have to reread like both of these to get a better feel for these collections again, especially because this one, each poem built on the previous, and they were so interconnected and drawing upon the same imagery and trying to make the same points, and it was very circular, and it was very good. It's still very dreamlike, and that's clearly his style. And he tells these stories in a very dreamlike way. Like, it almost reminds me of, I'm gonna say, like an Alice in Wonderland type of way, where stuff is very kind of fantastical or even nonsensical, and you just kind of go with the flow, where there's her poems over and over again where it's the moon is talking and sadness is talking and all these different qualities, are being personified, and they keep showing up throughout the poems. And it's just, it's strange but lovely. So I really, really enjoyed these. I don't know how to rate them because it's poetry, but I enjoyed reading them, and I think I will definitely be rereading them in the future because it just feels like there's something I need to reread to hope to better appreciate. I don't know, like I already appreciate them, to maybe better understand them, maybe get my own feelings for them. I don't know, but I guess if I had to rate them, they'd probably be 5 stars, at the very least 4.5 stars, 4.5, because I really liked the dreamlike quality. I don't know, maybe because I like fantastical stuff and I like nonsensical stuff. So I liked poems that said something, but in a roundabout way, that you kind of just go with the flow and you get what you get from it. So if you like poetry and you like some queer stuff, is in the Crush one. You don't get a lot of that in the World of Foxes, but that's because the subject matter is more about life and creation and stuff. So very different collections, but I liked them both. Like, they were both really, really good. That's the vacuum. So we're driving back home tomorrow, and I will probably check back in with you guys, I guess, before we leave. Hopefully I'm feeling better. I'm gonna take my medicine and go to sleep, and that's all I really have to say. I got out of the shower and I didn't feel like putting on makeup, so sorry. This is what you got. I didn't get any writing done after that first day, even though I got my mouse. It's sitting on my laptop and I didn't use it. Yeah. I need to write. Hopefully when I go home, maybe I'll be better once I'm in my own environment, and I'll be able to sit down and write some more, I hope. I want to read some more, and I want to write some more, and yeah. I went to the library while I was here, and I may have picked up some books for next month's TBR. Why? I don't know. I'm out of control, okay? I'm out of control. I'll talk to you guys later.